Hey guys, insert number 3 here. You can see I'm wearing my But God t-shirt. Hee. Thought it was a good one for this week. How can I receive answers? Answers to things? Miraculous? Yep. Because our insight number 4 is answers beyond expectations. But God. Yeah. Okay, so we talked about, in the second insight, we talked about 2 things that will help you receive answers. So this is Joseph Smith history. Only one chapter, verses 5 to 25. How can I receive answers? Part 2. 2 more examples. So what can you do, what to do when facing challenges? So that's in 15 to 16. So he has that challenge from Satan, and he's like, in 16, basically, we know he has this, he couldn't even move his tongue, and it's like, sometimes I have felt like that a couple of times in a panic attack, not to this extent. Like, I haven't been attacked by Satan like this. I've been attacked by Satan in many ways, not like this. But during a couple of panic attacks, I can't even get words out. I'm like, I want to and I can't. It's just frozen. But my mind still can. It can just cry out, and literally it's cried out, help, like, Jesus, God. That's all it said. And help comes. So when facing challenges, that's one of the things we can do. He says in 16, but exerting all my powers to call upon God to deliver me out of the power of the enemy which had seized upon me. And at the very moment when I was ready to sink into despair and abandon myself to destruction, not in an imaginary room, but to the power of some actual being from the unseen world who had such marvelous power as I had never felt in any being. So even he calls Satan's power marvelous, as in, like, I had no idea how strong this was. Just at this moment of great alarm, I saw a pool of light exactly over my head. So when we're facing challenges, hang in there and call out to God until the answer comes, because it will, and he will protect you, and he will not let you sink lower than that's going to destroy you. He's going to keep you there. If you keep calling out to him, he will keep holding you up. And then again in 21 to 26, it talks, because this is when he receives opposition from different preachers that he goes to tell, and they're like, of course you didn't see God, what a load of rubbish, you're making it up. And you see, he went to several Methodist preachers, and they treated it very lightly, and that he couldn't be around them anymore because he was nuts and crazy and whatever. And he said that the telling of the story had excited a great deal of the prejudice against me among professors of religion, and was the cause of great persecution, which continued to increase. And though I was an obscure boy, only between 14 and 15 years of age, and my circumstances in life such to make a boy of no consequences in the world, yet men of high standing would take notice sufficient to excite the public mind against me, and create a bitter persecution, and this was common among all the sects, all united to persecute me. How do you deal with that? He's saying, look, I'm a nothing 14-year-old farm boy. I got nothing going on here, right? I sow crops and work for my dad. We're poor. I own the clothes I wear. That's it. That's all I got. And why I'm telling this story, because it's true, and yet these high up, religious people, high up in churches, were exciting the public against the story. Don't listen to him, he's full of garbage. Why would they go to so much trouble? Because mostly if a 14-year-old kid's saying something that's a bit wacky, we're just like, yeah, okay, sure. Don't pay it any attention. Maybe keep an eye on him because he might turn out to be schizophrenic, or, I'm not saying Joseph Smith was that, but, you keep an eye on them maybe, but you think, oh, that's a nice story, but you don't really get so caught up in ugliness like that. So what was it? In 23, he said, it caused me serious reflection then, and often has since, how very strange it was that an obscure boy, a little over 14 years of age, and one too who was doomed to the necessity of obtaining a scanty maintenance by his daily labour, should be thought a character of sufficient importance to attract the attention of the great ones of the most popular sects of the day. and in a manner to create in them a spirit of most bitter persecution and reviling. But strange or not, so it was, and it was often the cause of great sorrow to myself. But he goes on to talk about that, he's seen this, he knew it. As he says he felt like Paul when he made his defense before King Agrippa and related the visions that he'd seen, and people said that Paul was mad, and he's like, so it was with me, in verse 25. I had actually seen a light. In the midst of the light I saw two personages, and they did in reality speak to me. And though I was hated and persecuted for saying that I had seen a vision, yet it was true. And while they were persecuting me, reviling me, and speaking all manner of evil against me falsely for so saying, I was led to say in my heart, why persecute me for telling the truth? I have actually seen a vision, and who am I that I can withstand God? I'm not going to lie against God. Or why does the world think to make me deny that I have actually seen? For I have seen a vision, I knew it, and I knew that God knew it, and I could not deny it, neither dared I do it. At least I knew that by doing so doing, I would offend God and come under condemnation. And it's just like, how do you feel like that? Like, that's an incredible way to be. So much there. Facing challenges. There's just facing challenges when you're receiving answers. You're going to get opposition from Satan. Some people are going to attack you in an unreasonable amount. And when it's an unreasonable amount, you think, okay, there's something to that. That's not just someone saying, hey, I'm really concerned for you. Can we talk about this? No, this was just straight out vitriol. Not cool. And then accepting and acting on answers received, which he did, because in 18 through 25, he goes through and he talks to people. Because he says to, Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, my object was going to inquire of the Lord was which of all the six was right. And he was told that none of them. Don't join any of them. So accepting on acting and answers received, it's like, well, what do I do then? And he's like, well, it's okay. We'll get back to you. And he's like, okay. There wasn't right then. There was no you're going to translate a Book of Mormon from Angel Moroni. He's going to come see you. He's going to give you some gold plates, and you're going to translate the words on there. You're going to create this church, which is going to end up billions of people all around the world. No clue to any of that, because I think that would have just freaked him out. But this is the answer, and we'll get back to you, basically. What have I learned for myself? That's what he said. He comes back to his mother, comes back home. This is in verse 20. As I leaned up on the fireplace, Mother inquired what the matter was. I replied, never mind, all is well. I am well enough off. And he says that I have learned for myself that Presbyterianism is not true. But it seems that the adversary was aware, it was a very early period of my life, that I was destined to prove a disturber and annoyer of his kingdom, else why would the power of darkness combine against me? Why the opposition and persecution that arose against me almost in my infancy? We can all feel that. Why is there such opposition against so many things? So acting and accepting the answer we get, because did it actually full all his needs? No, he didn't answer everything. But it answered enough for that time. He's like, I'm well enough off. And then he's acting on it. Okay, I'm going to go tell people. And he's like, that's not going to work. Okay, I've got to wait. So some of the answers we get aren't necessarily what we want. Waiting is the hardest one. I've had that so many times where it's like, yes, this will happen, but not now. And I'm like, why? And they're like, just wait. I'm like, So, yeah. So anyway, what other examples in these... And this process can you recall from scriptures? There's so many examples of how to receive answers. Enos got them, Nephi got them, Moses got them, Noah got them, Paul got them. There's so many others that showed this process. What experiences have you had while seeking answers? Right? Some come immediately, some take time, some take a really long time. And they often are unexpected. And how can you help others have good experiences of hearing him, of hearing Jesus Christ? How can you invite others to hear him nicely and help them learn how to receive answers for themselves? I want some question, I'll answer that question in the comments. We want to hear that. How do you do that? All right, hang around. We're going over to insight number 3 and talking about just how awesome God is. All right, I'll see you there.